Hey guys, it's Street, and today I'm going to be showcasing all the incredible films I got from the flea market. And this time I was initially given $50 to spend, because I've been doing a lot of chores and such. But I only spent 40 of the dollars because I was running out of bag room. And the last $10 I spent on some snacks. I got 2 ramens, I got a Carmelo bar, and I got a Rain orange dreamsicle. But enough of that. You guys want to see the movies. For the VHS tapes, I got Road to Bali. And I've been wanting to see the Road to films for a very long time, actually. And I don't know exactly what order they're in. The first one I heard about was Road to Morocco, but like I said, I haven't seen any of them yet, but I've been wanting to see them. This might be the first. I don't know what order they're in, so I'd have to really look that up. And I also got, and I actually watched the first 10 to 20 minutes of this in Society. Now, I love Abbott Costello. I never really grew up with them per se, but I got a pack of Universal monster movies, and the film Abbott Costello Meet Frankenstein, I absolutely loved it. I can't remember it that much, but I remember it made me laugh my ass off, and I watched it like 3 a.m. or like 2 a.m. at night. So, and after that, I sort of developed a fascination for Abbott Costello. I watched a few documentaries, and I watched like the first few minutes of this film, like I said, but I never finished it for some reason. I got distracted, and I mean, that's ADHD, baby. And another film I got was Ed Wood. Now, I love Johnny Depp. I've always thought the guy was fucking superlative. And I heard about the legend of Ed Wood, and you'd think, since I'm a pretty huge cinephile, that I would have seen Plan 9 from Outer Space. And I did rent it from the library in like 2016, but I didn't actually watch it. It's apparently one of the worst films ever made, but honestly, I doubt that, because I've seen some pretty fucking egregious things. Breathless. And another film I got, this one stars Clint Walker, I got Yuma, and I actually put this film on my huge-ass calorific YouTube playlist of films that I haven't seen yet, films that I mean to watch, which the count's like 240 something. It's like 200 plus films now. And it stars Clint Walker, which I've only seen him in one film, which was The Snow Beast, and it wasn't good. He wasn't really that great in it, but hey, it looks pretty promising. I also got a John Wayne film, Rio Lobo. Now, I have not seen many John Wayne films yet, but I have wanted to see this one as well. And apparently, there's some writing on here. This was previously owned by a man named Dan Ford. So Dan Ford, if you're out there, I got this. And have a nice day, I guess. And I also got The Cowboys, which I've heard some decent things about this film. Most of these, I'm gonna admit, a lot of these are blind buys of things that I've been wanting to see for a while. And some of these are actually films that I have seen. But here's another one. This is a Humphrey Bogart film, which I've been wanting to see more of his films. It's famous, The Big Sleep. And man, look at that VHS cover. That's beautiful. That's gorgeous. I don't know much about the plot, like I'm saying for a lot of these. Not trying to be monotonous. And I also got, this is actually the first thing I found. Death Proof by Quentin Tarantino, which I need to expand myself more on Tarantino's works. I've seen very few of his films. I saw both Kill Bills. I saw Reservoir Dogs. But as for Tarantino films, I think that's about it. Yeah, I know. I still need to watch more of his other films. Admittedly, his later ones don't really look that good, like Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight. Those don't really look very interesting to me. But I rebought The Walking Dead Season 1, which was when The Walking Dead was really in its prime. Man, that show used to be so fucking good. It's so depressing how that shit ended. And, so yeah, I rebought this because the previous copy I had, both DVDs got destroyed. They literally got cracked and broken. And this is another rebuy. I got some Grindhouse, some Gorehouse Greats. It's a Gorehouse Greats collection. Unfortunately, most of these films are utter shit, but I have kind of a soft spot for Trip with the Teacher, despite it being pretty forgettable and kind of boring in the first half. Stanley, which I admittedly like a little more. And my old copy, it's kind of scratched up. It's not irreversible, but it's a little scratched up. So I thought, you know what? Why not buy this? And it's in a different shape. The one I have is a bit thinner. I think it's a bit thinner. I can't remember. And this beauty, this is a rebuy of one of the most influential films in my whole life. This is one of my earliest films, the earliest films I've ever seen, Milo and Otis, The Adventures of Milo and Otis. This film is personal to me. I deeply love it. It's a gorgeous, beautiful, well-aged film about friendship, growing up, and the entire cast is made out of animals, like a variety of animals. There is no human characters, only the narrator, who honestly does such an amazing job that even though this is a very minimalist film, you know, this is definitely not your conventional film, but it's honestly, and I may be stretching it, but I consider it a timeless, beautiful masterpiece. If you haven't seen Milo and Otis, it's a very underrated film. You seriously need to check it out. It's both cute, it's charming, but it's also very, very poignant. And it's actually an American remake of a Japanese film, which I've seen the Japanese film, and admittedly, I didn't really care for it that much. I prefer this version, which that's a rare thing to happen in itself, since usually the originals to films like these are far better, but this definitely far surpasses the original cut. Definitely recommend it. And I also got, I got The Hitcher. I reviewed this about 2 years ago, 3 years, I think 2 years ago. I loved it. And greatest part is, it's got 2 discs, so we got double features in there. Man. And a lot of these were half off. Apparently on Sundays at the flea market, most of these films are like half off, you know, so the prices get cut, and that's probably why I get such damn good deals on these. And I got a John Wayne double bill. It's got Tall in the Saddle and The Train Robbers, which I have not seen these, of course. And they look fairly interesting. They seem to be older John Wayne films. And here we get to the big fat ones. We've got 50 Gunslinger classics. I recently actually got one of these 50 film sets. I had it ordered for me. Let's see where it is. I thought I'd feature it in the videos since I featured it in the thumbnail. I got this, and now don't hold me to this, because I don't want to hear anyone bitching at me about, oh, you promised! I'm not promising, but I've considered perhaps making a video briefly reviewing 50 of these films all in one setting. It would take months to complete, but I've considered doing it. I got inspired by the YouTuber ZaGorudan, which he's a great YouTuber. I recommend you subscribe to his channel. I'll put the link to his channel in the description, so shout out to you, ZaGorudan. But yeah, I've considered maybe covering 50 of these films, but I'm not exactly sure yet, because even today I'm really in a fucking bind with editing, and just I have got a lot of content to produce that needs to be out on time. I know it doesn't look like it, but on my end I've got lots of fucking shit to do. But yeah, I'll read off a few films on the Gunslinger Classics. Not all of them, of course. We've got Boot Hill, Cry Blood Apache, Mad Dog Morgan, which stars Dennis Hopper, Public Cowboy Number 1, Rage at Dawn, Randy Rides Alone. I like the title of that. Savage Guns, And the last one I'm gonna read off. They've even got a copy of Yuma on here. And here's another one. We've got 50. It's another 50 movie set. It's the Cowboys versus Bandits here. And I think there's a few of the same. I think they share a few films. I don't know. There's bound to be some copies here, just like now. We've got Law of the Rio Grande, Marked for Murder, Boot Hill Brigade, North of Arizona, Silver Spurs. Let's see, Wild Horse. I wonder if I recognize any of these. Death Valley, 1946. That sounds familiar. But yeah, I got actually both of these for $5. $5 each. Now that's fucking impressive. Because usually these films online, like when you order them on Amazon or such, they're like $20 to $40, and that's if you're lucky. So I really got a hell of it. This is a steal. I mean, like, hell, damn, I got some good deals here. And I also got, got caught in the bag. I got a 20 film Western collection. Look at that. We've got 20 Westerns on here, and I love the design of the case. It looks amazing. I'm gonna read some of them off now. We've got the Dawn Rider, which is on one of these 50 sets. I Will Fight No More Forever. That's a weird title. Randy Rides Alone again. Sartana and the Valley of Death, which I've been meaning to see the Sartana films. Utah, which is on one of these 50 film sets too. And we've got My Pal Trigger. It's like a cute film. Wild Women, which that looks really interesting. I've always wanted to see a Western with sort of like female gunslingers. I think that's really interesting because when I was young, I was addicted to these ID discovery shows of like these murderous women, like Wives with Knives, Who the Bleep Did I Marry, Deadly Women. I have a thing for bad girls. And lastly, I have what's considered to be the greatest film of all time. And it may shock you. It may even horrify you. But I have not seen Citizen Kane. What? Oh yeah. I'm a maniac. I have wanted to see Citizen Kane for a long time, but something keeps holding me back, and I do not know why. Future self that watches Citizen Kane is probably going to look back at me and think, "You stupid son of a bitch, why didn't you watch Citizen Kane? It's a masterpiece, you damn moron." Also, check that twitching eye. I think you need to go to the doctor. Well, anyways, guys, those were the films I got from the flea market, and that was the film I got from online. I got a lot of great stuff, and I'm honestly blown away by how cheap I'm getting such incredible films at the flea market. The flea market is an amazing place. I don't know why people fucking waste their time going to places like Walmart to get shit. I guarantee for my next birthday, I'm definitely going to go to the flea market. Well, guys, that was a video, and I will see you all next time.